know with the wrists is that it's basically like if you had a bullwhip, okay? So imagine this, like a whip, like Indiana Jones style. You go no hinge, and then what? Down hinge, right? To do the down hinging, what is it? It's the down hinging of my elbow and my wrist, right? So it's basically like on the way back, I'm not trying to hinge my elbow and my wrist. And then coming down is what I'm trying to do. If I want to get whip, right? Think about it.
That's where you get your
to get a bull whip,
yeah, no,
right?
For sure.
Okay, so in the golf swing, how we got to get this is you got to go back and you should have no hinge. See how it look on the screen on the mirror right there. See how there's an obtuse angle here? Okay, you're supposed to have an obtuse angle there. If you're doing this stuff, you're never going to get an obtuse angle there. So the trick is straight back to an obtuse angle. Now, that's what it feels like I'm doing in my backswing. I don't ever feel myself hinging in my backswing. That's important. I only feel hinging happening coming down. Okay, so whatever you see in the backswing is because I'm going to feel like I go to here where there's no hinge, and then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to down hinge, like I said, my elbow and my wrist. The old saying was like you're skipping a stone, because that's what you do to skip a stone, right? If you're curious about that. But so we go no hinge, and then down hinge. Now here's what happens in reality. While I feel like I'm doing that, feel like I'm doing this no hinge and this down hinge, but not doing it where I stop, of course, the club goes to a point where it's hinged at 90 degrees at some point. Now, I don't actually know when that is, really, in a way. All I feel is no hinge, and then I feel the down hinge.
You're not trying to hinge.
Right, I'm trying to hinge on the way down.
On the way down, no, I understand.
But what I'm saying is, I never feel it hinge at the top, right? Even though, as you'll see in a moment, because I'm doing this in motion, right? So it goes, I feel like I go like this, and then I feel like I down hinge, right? But really, while momentum's happening, there's a point that it gets to the top and hinges that I don't know about it, okay? Now, the way that we fix this is there's two steps to this. First, it's getting you to hit shots where you do no hinge, make sure you have an obtuse angle, and then down hinge through to get comfortable with how to go from a no hinge to a down hinge. Okay, so this is what I mean. Ready? Look, you're going to mix it up. Take it back straight away, no swaying. Make sure that you have the obtuse angle by looking back there and seeing that you have not hinged your wrist, meaning there's a straight, obtuse angle here, right? And then from there, down hinge through, where your elbow and your wrist set on the downswing. You'll see here in a moment.
Yeah, actually, when I went to the driving range after the round, I totally felt that.
Right, so ready to look.
I felt this, like...
Maybe, but you're still not doing it in reality yet. You may start feeling like you're getting closer or have the right ideas, but when we see the video, you're still not hinging at the right time. No doubt. But here's the thing. So look, as I come down, you'll see that my elbow and my wrist break coming in to where at this moment, I have more angle in my wrist and elbow than I did, and that's how the club releases later than it should. Now, here's what's interesting. When I do a normal swing where I don't stop moving, even though I feel like my swing is the no hinge, down hinge, you'll see I actually am fully hinged at the top, but I don't feel it. And I have the obtuse angle, though, going back, which is a key point. So you're going to see here with my 7-iron. No hinge, then down hinge, but I'm not stopping this time. Club face was slightly open there, but... Oh, no, it came back around. Good. So you're going to see here, I go back, and I felt like my swing ended here in my backswing. And the next thought I had was of making the down hinge.
Time to hinge and go down.
Right, so I think I'm going down at this moment, but the momentum of the club is still going back, and I don't know it. Because things had momentum, which means, of course, things in motion tend to stay in motion in this world we're in. So it goes back more than I think. Now, at this moment, I'm already feeling the down hinge, but look, really, I have a 90-degree hinge here at the top, but if you go back some frames, I had an obtuse angle here, right? And of course, the reason that we're doing this is because this helps us get what's called a wide to narrow arc, right? So the whole reason for this is it should feel like there's no hinge. I feel like my backswing ends there, but momentum keeps it going the rest of this way. And then as I'm thinking about my down hinge while it's still going up, then you'll see that that sets and loads the shaft, and the club comes in narrower than how it went up because of how I'm bringing my elbow under and my wrist down hinging, as we call it, like the bullwhip feeling. And you'll see then the club comes down like this to create the wide to narrow arc that I want, right? So what we do to fix this is we have to practice hitting shots where you go back with no hinge, make sure there's no hinge.
Actually stop and look.
Like I said, yes.
Okay.
And then down hinge and hit a ball.
Okay.
I once cracked the face of a driver doing this because of how much speed I created. I had to send it back to Titleist. No joke.